Bonnie Blue ruined my relationship. So I came home today to find out that my partner of 7 years hasn't only been in Bonnie Blue's queue once, but twice. Apparently he was one of the 1,000 guys to have his way with her. I'm so heartbroken. Like, me and Bonnie are in the same industry. I would never do this to another woman. He had his own Bonnie Blue at home, yet he has to go and queue up with 1,000 other guys. I'm so sad.
Wait a minute. So let me unpack this for a second. Here we have a spicy worker, and she's recording herself crying because her boyfriend went out there and got with another spicy worker. Now, let me just say, guys, I don't endorse this behavior by the man. I think it's ridiculous. I also think it's disgusting, by the way, to go and queue with 9,999 other men to hook up with a corn star, shall we say. But this whole situation is absolutely messed up. What is going on, guys? It is Taylor the Fiend back again. And on today's episode, yes, we have women crying in cars. Yes, we have some rant videos. So why don't we just jump right into it? And we will kick it off with a clip from this woman right here who says that she needs to rant. So let's take a listen to what this one is complaining about.
I need to rant about female rage in the dating space for a hot minute. So I just got played by the third guy in a row. The first one was 41 years old. Second one was 30. And this last one was 32. It's like, I'm gonna go for the older guys. They're not as big of assholes. Well, I'm 0 for 3 on that theory. So I'm really trying to not become one of those girls that hates all men. All men suck. But like, wow.
You gotta love how, like, again, guys, I want you to notice this double standard, okay? When older men go after younger women, it's considered predatory, it's considered creepy, and so on, right? Like, if a man who's in his 40s dates, like, you know, a 26-year-old, you'll have people up in arms saying how wrong it is and how terrible and all that kind of stuff, okay? But when the women go after older men, nobody bats an eye. It's all, you go queen, oftentimes get that bag, make your money, and nobody judges the woman. It's only when these women get older do they get pissed off about this situation, by the way, because again, when they become the older ladies and they don't get as much attention and the younger women are getting attention in favor of them, then they start to become bitter about this exact same thing that they indulge in. But let's continue. 3
on that theory. So I'm really trying to not become one of those girls that hates all men. All men suck. But like, wow. Like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. I can deal with rejection because I've done a lot of work on myself. I have high self-worth. I have high self-respect. Like, we're Gucci gang in that aspect.
Whenever a woman says that she's done work on herself and she has a strong sense of self-worth, I mean, anything along these lines, what it really means is that she's been through a bunch of bad boys, and now she thinks that because she's attended some therapy sessions or she got some coaching from a female dating empowerment person on TikTok, that makes her all quote-unquote Gucci. Let me just say it doesn't. And women like this are to be avoided at all costs, guys. You know, oh, I've done my... As soon as you hear the woman say the word healing, okay, or any of this stuff, just run for the hills, my friend, is what I would suggest.
This is fucking crazy. I can deal with rejection because I've done a lot of work on myself. I have high self-worth. I have high self-respect. Like, we're Gucci gang in that aspect.
Just by the way, this woman says she has high self-respect, and she just got played by 3 older Chads consecutively. Riddle me that, right?
But the deception of these situations, it's just unnecessary. It's dehumanizing. It makes me feel like I was completely disposable, like I was completely worthless. Like all of these things, all these conversations, all of the times that we hung out, all the forehead kisses are all a lie. How could they not be? How could it be real and you're seeing somebody else at the same time?
Yeah, so here's the thing. I love when women complain about, oh, he dehumanized me. And, you know, there's something potentially to be said for the dude's behavior. I mean, he just didn't want to commit to you. That's really it. I don't think it's that big of a deal personally. The crime that these men are guilty of typically is not wanting to commit to these women, which, you know, granted, why would you? But it's funny to me how women will complain about being objectified, being dehumanized, okay, all of this stuff, but nobody forced them to enter into these situationships. Nobody is making them engage with these men. They voluntarily choose to do it, and then they cry and complain after like X amount of months that the man didn't actually want anything serious with them. You know, and the dudes, here's the thing that the dudes understand. The dudes might actually want to have a long-term relationship. They might want to have a girlfriend or a wife. And it probably hurts them, you know, to go out there and do this stuff and realize that none of the women are actually worth committing to in the first place. A lot of these playboys, a lot of these guys who are bachelors and go out and see a bunch of women, you know, there are dudes who do want to have families, but they've just accepted, hey, maybe the risk isn't worth it. Maybe the women aren't worth it. But we don't really have discussions about that, do we?
What? What? I don't know how to do that. Like, how do people do this shit? I don't know, man. Like, I know what I want. And when you have a goal, you have to act like it. If you want to get in shape, you need to eat like it. You need to go to the gym. You need to go on a walk. You need to drink more water. You need to sleep, right? If you want to be in a relationship, you need to put yourself out there.
If you want one of these men, perhaps the first step would be not being masculine. You know, like, I understand what this woman's saying, okay? She's like, I've got my goal. I know what type of man that I'm after. But they never actually ask, okay, what does that man want? What's he looking for? What does the man want in the equation? And oftentimes, guys, these women have no damn idea. They're over here talking about goals and ambitions as if men care about their career and their drive. Men don't date women for your masculine drive, madam. But they never understand this, never.
You need to put yourself out there. You need to be emotionally available. You need to do the work. You need to protect your heart. And I'm trying to do all of these damn things, and I just feel like I keep getting beat the fuck down and run over. And I'm trying to prevent that. Like, I am putting up the boundaries and the barriers, and I'm vetting them out for that not to happen, and it's still happening.
You're not vetting the men at all. The men are attractive. You hook up with them before you get commitment out of them, and so you end up in this situation. You're not vetting anything, okay? You still ended up in his bedroom. You still got your heart broken. Why? Because, again, probably you gave up the intimacy to this man without a relationship. And women have cheapened themselves in this regard, guys. Like, this is the problem. You've had women, okay? If you won't do this, there's some other equivalent version of a woman who will. Because society is so damn empowered at this point. Women have essentially priced themselves out of the dating market for men that have options. You know, they'll just move on as well, right? Because some other woman, some other Stacy, some other, you know, whatever, is going to hook up with him. And you can thank women's empowerment for that. You can thank the ability to have your situationships for that. Because some woman will gladly take that situationship with that random Chad that you're trying to lock down. And you will get pushed out of the market. Empowerment is a nice thing, isn't it?
So, I'm 28 years old. I'm single for the first and longest time in my life. I hate it. I hate that I hate being single. But it's just the truth for me. And I'm lonely.
Oh my goodness.
I think a lot of us are. So, that's it. That's the rant.
You know, guys, women oftentimes say that they're lonely. And the reason why I laugh at that is because they're not truly lonely, okay? They're not lonely in the same way that a man is. When a man says he's lonely, it carries a very, very different meaning to when one of these women posts on TikTok about how lonely she is. You really think this woman's DMs are empty, okay? Or do you think they're actually full of people asking how she is, men and women, checking up on her, all of this kind of stuff? You know, again, women say that they're lonely, but typically they don't actually know what that word means. They don't know what it's like to be alone for extended periods of time. They really don't. But let's jump back into this first video that we played here today.
Bonnie Blue.
The one that we kicked off the start of today's episode with. This is the woman who decided to record herself crying in the car. All right, so let's break this one down.
Bonnie Blue ruined my relationship. So I came home today to find out that my partner of 7 years hasn't only been in Bonnie Blue's queue once, but twice. Apparently he was one of the 1,000 guys to have his way with her.
Okay, so first of all, if that's true, that's absolutely disgusting, obviously. You know, like these dudes who are lining up to get with these women, I don't know, they need to have a word with themselves, in my opinion. That's just, you're probably going to catch some sort of disease, my man. Okay, and that's the least, you know, that's a pretty significant problem, but that's one of many problems. If you're going out here trying to be one of the 1,000 men hooking up with these night workers. But one thing I want to point out, guys, is I do find it funny how women oftentimes these days refuse to handle their personal problems in a private manner. They always have to post about what they're experiencing, you know, how terrible their life is or how great it is. Nothing is ever private anymore. Okay? And it's completely ridiculous to me.
I'm so heartbroken. Like, me and Bonnie are in the same industry. I would never do this to another woman. He had his own Bonnie Blue at home, yet he has to go and queue up with 1,000 other guys.
Okay, so here's the thing. You know, if you're this woman, it's probably a wiser idea to have more of an issue with your significant other. Okay, I don't really understand these people, man. You know, like surely you would have a great issue with the man who decided to go out there and do that. There's always going to be some Bonnie Blue. Okay, there's always going to be some woman out there, some night worker, some woman trying to steal your man. Personally, I think it's more logical to have an issue with the man who decided to go out there and do it. But hey, maybe that's just me. But this video is also more hilarious when you realize what the woman said in the middle of it, which is that she works in the same industry as Bonnie Blue. So this is a night worker. This is a woman who sells her body. And it's like, I just find it ridiculous how these women, you know, again, they expect traditional behaviors from men. They expect the monogamy. They expect oftentimes the provider, the man who's loyal and cares about them, but they literally sell their bodies to strangers. Okay, I don't understand why as a man you would ever commit to that. But hey, here we are in modern day society. Let's continue.
Own Bonnie Blue at home, yet he has to go and queue up with 1,000 other guys. I'm so sad.
Amazing stuff, guys. Truly amazing. You know, I just love modern day society, don't you? Guys, we're going to be leaving it there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace.